I'm in Colombia to visit Marcopolo, and the factory here is called Superpolo. And today I will get an introduction of their flagship, the G8, the PARADISO 1350 with the SCANIA chassis. It's now a couple of years ago since I visited Marcopolo in Brazil, and I still remember this as one of my most fantastic factory visits ever. And today I'm in Colombia at the factory Superpolo. This factory produces about 1,500 vehicles every year, everything from the smallest minibus to the long BRT vehicles, and the biggest coach is what I'm going to take a closer look on today. This is the 3-axle G8 PARADISO 1350, and it has a Scania chassis. Latin America is a huge bus continent, and there is no chance that Marcopolo and Brazil can produce all the vehicles for all the different regions. That's why Colombia is also a very big manufacturer in South America. Today I'm going to drive a Scania G8 PARADISO 1350, and this is the flagship of the Flota Magdalena, and this is 2.6 meters wide. This means you can never ever take this vehicle to the most European countries because it's 5 centimeters too wide for European standards. This vehicle has a height of 3.9 meters, and inside it's only 48 seats. It has a rear toilet, and it has a Scania engine with 450 horsepower, a 12-step OptiCruise. And guys, look at this design. I think this might be one of the most beautiful 3-axle versions of a coach on planet Earth. And if you want to see some more content of this vehicle, check out our Instagram and TikTok channels. These headlights are talking to me. They are really shaping into the middle of the vehicle, shaping a very aerodynamic front. And you have this black panel in the orange. I just love this color scheme. You have a little hidden little lamp here that's very useful when it's fog or anything else. The Marcopolo logo is very well represented in the middle of the vehicle, and you see it is a Scania. We have a splitted window on this vehicle, 2 window wipers on each side, which will go. And this is very simple, because if you want to replace one of the windscreens, you can change just the right side. If you have a stone crack or something here, you don't have to take the complete window that we have to do back in Europe. But of course, I also like to have the vision through the whole complete window, but this is a very nice and simple thing to have. And we have to talk about the digital mirror system. Here we have the PARADISO 1350 written on the mirror system. And here on the previous models, the mirror would come down. But now it just stops into a mirror cam system. And this vehicle, you can see, have regular analog mirrors. This is the one and only door for passengers. So you have to step in here, pause the driver, say hola, ¿cómo estás? And then you will find your comfortable seat. And very soon I will show you the beautiful interior of this coach. G8, the most modern vehicle from Marcopolo. But here on the factory where we are right now, it's still a lot of G7s in production. It's cheaper, and people really love the reliability of the coach. This is a 3.9 meter tall vehicle, and then you have great space above the axle to have some more storage. And look now, I can open this up, and probably in Europe I would like to have my own suitcase here or something. And here it's called Bodega Paquetera, and this is if you have some freight along the route. People maybe have ordered something from Amazon, and then you can leave it here and you can open the door, come out and easily pick up the package, deliver it, have a good day. So you can do more services when you're having this simple, easy room in the front. The next you find after the front axle is your private little hotel. Here is the driver sleeping cabin. And here you can lay and relax when you are driving the coach for a long distance. I can communicate with the driver. There is interior lighting, and oh, this is absolutely fantastic. And also in the door of the sleeping cabin, you have details. Look here, you have the G8. Under this cover, it's a 20 square meter luggage compartment, but I think the opening handle is a little bit hard to operate. First, I have to grab it, open it, and under you have this little handle where you can grab, and it's really, really heavy. Whew. But then you see you have a big big, beautiful luggage compartment. Let's see if this one is as heavy. Open it. There is like no proper grip. That's also what annoys me a bit. Like this. I would be crazy if I was driving this kind of vehicle. Oh, it's open, and it was so easy. No, I really don't like this handle. So there is something here I never experienced before with when it comes to opening a luggage compartment. And there is also some protectors here, and they are to protect the hatches when you are driving, because there's so many turns and the luggage start to push on the hatches. You know, it's for safety measures, so it doesn't open. But when you load the luggage, it's a little bit hassle to always lift it over. So then you can easily take this down perfectly and no problems ever made. So you can easily insert your luggage. Let me try to close this hatch. You have to hold it properly, get your grip above, and now you should not slam it. You need to close it properly and lock it like that. That's the way to close down a Marcopolo hatch. How do you like this coach so far? Well, maybe you should subscribe to the channel to see more great coach content from all over the world. Sometimes your coach gets thirsty and he wants some liquid. The diesel tank is located behind this big door. I'm used to just having a small little hatch you open and you stick in the pump. Here you need to open the complete door, take off this lock, but I think this also is for safety matters. Here you see you have a lock, so you can close it down so nobody steals your diesel. The privilege of having a tall coach is that you have big space above the third and second axle. Here you have the same concept, you just lift it up, and here you can do all your personal belongings. You can have cleaning equipment. In Norway, you would probably have your chains. It goes all the way through, so you can have a long mop, so you can wash the windows. Everything here for practical use of the coach. It's two. I wonder what's hiding behind here. The batteries of the coach are placed behind the third axle. So to fill the AdBlue, you need to open this complete door. The AdBlue tank is easily placed here, and then you can see you also have great space for the engine. You can come into different parts that you won't come in from the back. Here you have really good space to work on this Scania engine. I really like the back part of the G8. You have this beautiful lights here, which is also going into the center point. It's a rounded back corner. I really like this kind of lights. And if you want to know the difference from a Brazilian Marcopolo G8 and to the Colombian, is this air ventilation. But actually this is not needed, because all the hot air from the engine will disappear through these ventilation systems. This is more to create some more noise. But let's take a closer look at the DC13 engine from Scania. Here we have the powerful 450 horsepower engine, 2,200 Newton meter, combined with the OptiCruise 12-step automated transmission. Here we have everything you need. We have easy access to refuel the tanks. Here we have oil, the air filter is here, and if you want to empty your toilet, you can just pull this lever and then you will have a lot of things underneath you. So please stand on a proper place when you're doing that. You can also start the engine here from the rear if you are a mechanic. Very useful, so you can check that everything is in order. And Marcopolo spent a lot of time and effort to isolate the vehicle very well. Look at all this isolation to separate the toilet from the engine and also to keep noise level lower in the cabin. Here we have a funny door. Here we have the radiator and the intercooler. And behind this door, we have the emission controls. It's incredible to see the coach fully open. Look at all these doors and hatches. But I want to show you one thing that is in my heart, but it's only for the Colombian market. So if you want to buy a G8 in Colombia, you will get driver door. And if you buy the G8 in Brazil, there is no driver door. So this is special for the Colombian market. It opens very easily. You see you have some steps to enter the vehicle. It's just entering like a truck. You have your handle here, you take a grip, and you stumble like me. Driver door, I really love you. So now I want to show you the inside of the vehicle. This is the vehicle of details. The first thing you see when you come in is the Marcopolo logo. And on the hatches, you have lighting system. It's uplight, so you get these nice details in the roof. And everywhere you see, there is Marcopolo in the seats. So there is no doubt what brand you are driving with. We know we are in South America, and I love the seats that is provided in this country. And I want to test one of the 48 comfortable seats on board this coach. It is a 2-point seatbelt system here. I just detach it to take it on. And as you can see, the comfort is brilliant. It's leather in the seat. You have fabric on the neck, and I can recline my seat. Let's see how much. Here I can sit for many hours. And this is not even the most comfortable seats Marcopolo delivers. You can also have 1+2 seating with even bigger seats. And if you go to the double-decker coaches, you can even have the full flat lay-down seats, just like business class on airplanes. In the roof, we have some panels. I can turn on and off lights. I can turn on and off the airflow, and there is also a button if I want service. It's not so often that you get service on board, but there is companies that provide you service. On the front seat, there is not too much, but you know, I really like this seat pocket. As a coach driver, I have really often struggles with picking out garbage from all the seat covers. People are with a nose and leaving their dirty. Ooh, I really hate it. But here, there is nowhere to leave it. You will just attach your bottle or your book and you take it out again. You will not forget what you're leaving here. This will not become like a trash can. I really admire this kind of system. And you also have a footrest. But what I don't like with the footrest is that you cannot take it away. In Europe, you can lift it all the way up so you can put your feet in front, but my feet are not able to go further ahead than this. It's very, very sad. I would love to have my feet in another position because now I'm forced to sit like this. There is also USB ports on every seat. There is screens in the roof, and here we have the air conditioning system. All windows are emergency exit. There is hammer on every second window. There is curtains, and I also really like the floor. But what I realized in South American coaches, even though this is a 3.9 meter coach, I cannot stand fully upright. I'm 195 meters tall. I guess that this has to be 194. I'm not quite sure, but I cannot stand properly here, and I will at least hit my head in everything that sticks down, like the TV and the air condition. So I guess that people are a little bit lower in Latin America. And when you come further back, you don't hear the engine more than you did in the front. It's so quiet here. It's of course because we have a really tall bus and it's so much isolation here. And for the first time in my life, I want to be a passenger and really use the toilet in a coach. Look at this really nicely built-in toilet. It looks very fresh. And when I now open the door and show you inside of the toilet, I really just want to use it. It's so fresh. You have black and white. It's good lines. You have, of course, the Marcopolo logo. And when I open the doors, the fan starts. So you will get all the smell away. And when it's busy, details again, guys. The G8 gets red. The Marcopolo gets red. And when you open up the door again, this will very soon turn white. This is so cool. And again, I said this is the vehicle for details. Look, even at the floor, this sexy Marcopolo logo is showing you the edge before you enter the toilet. And in Europe, we are so afraid of having a rear toilet because they think that you lose the view to your right and you also lose 2 seats. For me, this view is no problem. I still have my left window, which is brilliant. And to my right, I still see everything what's happened there. In Europe, we are so afraid of having the rear toilet. We want this tiny little box in the mid door, which is completely useless if you are more than 110 in your height. So I really admire Latin America for having this back toilet. And did you know there is also companies in South America having 2 toilets in the back? One for boys and one for girls. And one more advantage with this kind of toilet, elderly and handicapped people can use it easily. The floor is totally flat. There is no stair up, and especially there is no stair down to the mid toilet in the mid door. So this is a very friendly toilet for all kind of users. And one thing I never ever seen on a bus toilet before is that you also have a pissoir. Normally you always want people to sit down to not splash around with everything that's going on, but here you have a pissoir. So be careful when you stand up and hold on, because the roads in Colombia, they goes like this. One thing I'm not used to seeing in coaches is the speedometer. Up here, you can have full control of the speed you are driving in. I think in many cases, I would not want to know that, because then you have these people back there like, oh, you were driving so fast, oh, yeah, yeah. Another thing I'm really not used to see is this big cover. You know, in the double-decker in Latin America, you only have one door in the middle of the vehicle, so you walk either into the first floor or up to the second floor. There is a physical block between the driver and the rest of the passengers, but here they're also implementing this block in the vehicle. And this is to protect the driver so he can have his own space. And you know, there is a saying in Latin America that if you have sleeping passengers, you hear snoring, and that will affect the driver. So if he closes this door, he will not get tired. And he also don't have to listen to all the farting that is behind us when people are sleeping. Speaking of the driver's seat, I want to try it out. So now I'm seated behind the steering wheel of the Marcopolo Paradiso 1350. And this is a very, very nice driver area. We just have to adjust my seat. Wow, I have a lot of space here. To the left of the steering wheel, just like a Scania, we have the button for adjusting, and I can also take it towards me. Oh, this is a very, very comfortable seating position. On the steering wheel, we have these beautiful details with wood, and inside the steering wheel we have leather, and there is stitches that is beautifully made to make this as a premium steering wheel. On the steering wheel, we have the buttons to control the menu, and we also have the controller for cruise control and the braking assistant in the hill. And I talked about details from the very beginning in this video. Even here, we have a Paradiso logo. Seatbelt is attached to the wall. I like it better when it's attached to the seat, because look what's happened now. I get this too much up in my neck, and I don't like that when I'm driving. And I also feel like I don't get the right pressure on my shoulder. I want this to be onto my shoulder, not to pick me up if something happened. Here we have manual windows, so I can keep myself cool when I'm sitting here in the front. I have a place to have my cup and my personal belongings, and it's such a perfect door to have if you have a lot of passengers coming in and out, and then you can easily climb out undisturbed and you can start helping unloading the luggage from the bus. This vehicle have a very nice dashboard. There is not too many buttons. To the right of the steering wheel we have the transmission, and it's a 12-step OptiCruise on this vehicle. And it's also the retarder, so you have full control of your braking power. To the left we have the window wipers, and this is also the blinker. Down to my left knee I have the climate controller. Right now it's 26 degrees in here, so whew, it's hot. I can lower and rise up the coach. And here you also find the door button, emergency switch, which is very commonly used in these kind of countries, and the light switch for exterior lighting. The panel of the dashboard is the famous Scania dashboard, the speedometer to the left and the trip counter to the right. You see temperature outside, you have a great display in the middle, which have a lot of options. You can control tire pressure, see the consumption. There is so many useful things inside there. And to the right we have a simple panel which has a screen in the middle. Here you can control the lighting on board, and is also a multimedia system. And this Marcopolo have digital mirrors, a standing mirror on the top and a wide angle below. But what I see with a wide angle mirror, it mostly shows the first axle and the few meters behind it. So I would like to rise up the wide angle mirror a little bit to give more sight behind me. But I guess this is the compromise, because there is no camera to show exactly in front of the vehicle. So you are a little bit in a blind spot exactly in front of this Marcopolo. And the same on the right side, you have one standing mirror and the wide angle mirror below. And even in the windshield there is a detail. It's written the G8. The details is everywhere in this coach. Oh, the sound when I opened the door, I thought I was shot. Thank you so much for watching the video here today. And if you like what you see, click down here. The button is called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely. Have a great day.